Everyone. Welcome. Bonjour, bienvenue tout le monde. Thank you everyone for joining us today for the 2026 Community-Based Research Excellence Awards ceremony. As we get started today, I'd like to situate us. Uh, CBRCanada, of course, we operate nationally across this land of Turtle Island that colonial settlers named Canada. But I'd like to acknowledge the land that I'm specifically joining you from today. The Community-Based Research Canada Secretariat is located on the Haldimand Tract, which is a tract of land promised to the Six Nations of the Grand River in the Haldimand Treaty of 1784. This land is unceded and there are ongoing land disputes over this land. It's the traditional territory of the Arawandron, Anishinaabe, and Neutral peoples. We at CBR Canada recognize that First Nations communities across Canada, Métis and Inuit communities all have their own diverse and unique culture and traditions. So we encourage you, if you haven't before, to explore some of the specific cultures and traditions of the people who are the stewards of the land that you are now situated on. This is important for us at Community-Based Research Canada to acknowledge because when we talk about community-based research, we talk about a type of research that values different knowledge systems and ways of knowing. And at CBR Canada, we are committed to embracing Indigenous knowledge systems and Indigenous-led research. To help us with opening our award ceremony today in a good way, I would like to welcome Dr. Sean Haynes, a board member of CBR Canada, to help us open our ceremony.
Thank you, Amanda. Can you hear me?
We can, yes.
Oh, good. Just going to take a moment and light the sage. Then I will lift my eagle feather and pray. And Amanda's going to do that. I can hold an eagle feather by law. I can hold an eagle feather by ethics. And I can hold an eagle feather for health. We are inseparable with the land. We are whole. It's a congruence that continues with health. Next slide, please. I pray for us in a good way. But one of the things about ethics and research and methods, we forget one word, to pause. Pause. To pause for understanding and sharing, to just pause. It's also a reminder for some, we're not slaves. We come in an agreement to mutually understand somehow, cross-culturally, with our environment, with the land, with the peoples, the society we're around, with all the infrastructures that are around us or we represent. We come in a good way meaning ethically, and we pause for that with purpose. Next slide, please. Congruence within and comprehension. To work well and to work well together, we're moving slowly from a place of law to a place of ethics in a good way, to a place of health. So when we finish or we're in our dialogue, you can quietly go, is this healthy? Is this a healthy dialogue? And CBRC, to its credit, has eagles that fly during our work during the year, and we take pictures. So for me, that's validating that we're doing things in a good way. The eagle is present. And so thank you, everyone, for being here. Yahweh, we must be doing something right, is what the eagle means. And Indigenous people could expand on that and tell you, I think I'm doing something right. The eagle came by. What do you think it is? And you could share, but they would be the experts in knowing that eagle. So these are thank you words. Kanaskomnin and Cree, Marcy and Métis. I am Métis. Wopila Tonka, Willilin, Kijimi Gutch, Nyawe, Nayowen, Mana for Inuit, Wunlichish. Thank you for this day and for being together. O Creator, guide us in a good way with a comprehension and our wholeness as we move from law to ethics to health. Thanks, Amanda.
Thank you, Sean, for helping us open this so beautifully. Naiwan. Our agenda for today, I have not yet introduced myself, so I am Amanda Demmer. I'm the Executive Director of Community-Based Research Canada, and I will be our facilitator for the event today. So our agenda, I'll shortly be passing things to one of our board co-chairs, Joanna Ochoka, to be opening and welcoming us to our awards ceremony. We'll then have the presentations of the awards and the honorary mentions, starting with our Community Campus Partnership Award, moving to our Emerging Community-Based Researcher Award, and then moving to our new award this year, our second Emerging Community-Based Researcher Award for the Francophone community, Recherche émergent francophone en recherche ancrée dans les communautaires. So we'll then have the opportunity to hear throughout this from our emerging community or our Community Campus Partnership Award. We'll hear a short speech from them when that award is announced. After the presentation of both Emerging Researcher Awards, we will get to hear some advice from both of those emerging researchers to other emerging researchers who may be here or listening or watching this recording in the future. So without further ado, I will pass things to Joanna Ochoka, one of the two board chairs. Stephen Dooley, our other board chair, is here with us today as well. And Joanna, please welcome us to our ceremony today.
Thank you, Amanda. Just to say that I am zooming today from the territory of Shumainus First Nation, the traditional keepers of this land on Vancouver Island. On behalf of Community-Based Research Canada Board of Directors, thank you very much for being with us today. It means a lot. And thank you for supporting and shaping our network. And for your participation in the National Community-Based Research Award Program. So welcome all. This is our 6th year of the award program. Over the past years, we've received a total of 179 nominations. We celebrated 10 award winners and 14 honorary mentions. This annual program has many strengths. It recognizes and celebrates the talent in the community-based research field nationally, showcasing base examples and inspiring others, but also the high quality of nominations helps us to understand why community-based research matters to Canadians, and how community-based research addresses many social, health, and environmental challenges of our communities face, amplifying impact and innovation. But it also shows that when human beings unite under a common cause, decide to look out for each other, and commit to do their parts well in a collective effort, so much more is possible. It is more work, of course, coming together. We got to air our differences, be willing to make sacrifices, and trust both our instincts and our research. But ultimately, we shall never doubt what's possible when a small group of people come together to change the world. The CBRCanada's award program is clear a testimony of complexity, diversity, and excellence of community-based research in Canada. Without this program, we won't be able to grasp the scale and the richness of projects and people conducting community-based research. This year, we received 61 nominations from 22 Community-Based Research Canada's member institutions and organizations across Canada. And additionally, 5 submitted with individual membership. Together, there is over 90 partners listed in the Community Campus Research Partnership Award. This is a big number. And this year, for the first time, we also had this opportunity to adjudicate our new award category, Amanda just mentioned, French Emerging Researchers. And we want to thank to University of Quebec at Montreal and the Bishop University in Sherbrooke, Quebec, for sponsoring this award. In closing, let me repeat that the CBRCanada annual award program, with its increasing diversity of research topics and with the growing caliber of nominations every year, can be seen as a microcosm of community research across the country and a testimony to the strength and impact of community-based research. We should explore the potential for seeking funding to expand our categories, especially in community-based research excellence, in STEM, and also in celebrating emerging researchers with community backgrounds. So thank you and congratulations to all 61 nominees.
Thank you so much, Joanna. I will pass things off now to Community-Based Research Canada's Network Operation Manager, Stella, who will be a familiar name and face to many of you, who's going to provide a bit more of an introduction to us to Community-Based Research Canada and why we have this awards program. So Stella, please.
Thanks, Amanda. So community-based research has, great potential to create transformative social impact that benefits and uplifts marginalized communities across Canada and around the world. Yet, as we all often see, it's not widely seen or recognized sometimes beyond the communities and the partnerships where it takes place. So CBRCanada's Community-Based Research Excellence Awards were created to help change that by highlighting examples of excellence in community-based research and by making visible the many ways that work contributes to stronger, more just, and more resilient communities. At CBRCanada, our mission is to facilitate connections, bridge capacities, and promote excellence in community-based research to drive positive social change. And these awards are just one way that we bring that mission to life, by recognizing outstanding work, sharing examples of meaningful impact, and strengthening awareness of how community-based research can advance communities through collaboration, shared knowledge, and community-led action. Importantly, this gathering itself is part of that work. Coming together to celebrate nominees, recipients, and the broader community helps strengthen the visibility and recognition of community-based research. It creates space to learn from one another, to honor the relationships and effort behind this work, and to reinforce the shared commitment that makes community-based research possible. In this way, celebration is not separate from impact, but part of how the field grows and becomes more recognized and supported. This year, we are proud to be presenting awards in 3 categories. First, the Excellence in Community Campus Research Partnership, which received 20 nominations. Second, the Emerging Community-Based Researcher Award, which received 29 nominations. And for the first time, the Emerging Francophone Community-Based Researcher Award, which received 12 nominations. Each of these categories reflects an important dimension of the CBR ecosystem in Canada, from long-standing sustained partnerships to the next generation of researchers and leaders. Across all of this year's submissions, what stands out is the creativity, care, and commitment behind the work. These projects demonstrate how community-based research can respond to urgent and complex societal issues in ways that are collaborative, grounded in lived experience, and focused on meaningful change. They also show how research, when done in partnership with communities, can strengthen local capacity, inform action, and support lasting positive change. It is important for us at CBRCanada that this program is not only about the recipients, but also about celebrating every nominee. Each and every nomination represents meaningful work grounded in collaboration, trust, reciprocity, and community leadership. Whether through service delivery, system change, capacity building, or advocacy, these efforts demonstrate how communities are being strengthened through community-based research. Together, these nominations reflect the diversity, creativity, and impact of community campus partnerships and emerging researchers. They highlight how community-based research can advance communities by centering relationships, shared learning, and action-oriented knowledge that responds to real-world needs. So to all nominees, your work matters. Whether or not your name is called today, you are all contributing to advancing knowledge, strengthening communities, and shaping the future of community-based research in Canada. We are grateful for all of your contributions and look forward to continue highlighting your work through CBR Canada events, webinars, and through our e-newsletter as well. So thank you again all for being here, and congratulations again to all nominees. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Stella. Well, as you can see, these awards are incredibly important to us at CBR Canada and to advancing our mission and our vision, as well as highlighting the incredible work that we see. So we'll begin to announce the award categories. Each award category will be presented by a member of the adjudication committee that was part of adjudicating that award. So to start us off, we will invite Warren Dodd to introduce the 2026 Partnership Award, the Award for Excellence in Community Campus Research Partnership.
Great. Thanks, Amanda. And hi, everyone. My name is Warren Dodd. I'm joining today from the traditional territory of the Neutral Anishinaabeg and Haudenosaunee peoples. I'm also an associate professor in the School of Public Health Sciences at the University of Waterloo and a board member for CBR Canada. And it's my pleasure today to introduce the award winner and honorary mentions for the Excellence in Community Campus Research Partnership Award. As a member of the award adjudication committee this year, our group was incredibly impressed by the quality of submissions that we received. Research partnerships from coast to coast to coast are working collaboratively to address some of the most pressing social, economic, health, and environmental challenges in Canada. And what was notable about this group of nominees that we reviewed is that we observed a range of projects and programs working at various scales. And we were especially impressed to see a number of partnerships working at a systems level that use the principles of community-based research to catalyze change across multiple communities or sectors. So to begin, and on behalf of CBR Canada, I'm very pleased to share that the winner of the 2026 Excellence in Community Campus Research Partnership Award is the Pace Society and Care Study Collaboration. The adjudication committee was particularly inspired by the long-standing partnership between PACE and Simon Fraser University and by the multiple projects completed through this partnership. And what moved the committee most was the project's deep commitment to centering and amplifying lived experience perspectives to drive change, as well as the research structures that had ensured that decision-making power remained in the hands of PACE members and sex workers at the heart of this work. The capacity building opportunities and community resources developed through this partnership make it an outstanding example of community-based research principles in action. And the committee was also impressed by the project's knowledge mobilization efforts aimed at strengthening and transforming support services for sex workers. So accepting the award on behalf of the partnership is Sarah Resendez, Dr. Andrea Crucy, and Dr. Jenny Pearson. And Dr. Jenny Pearson will be providing a presentation about the important work and partnership. So welcome, Dr. Pearson.
Hi, everyone, and thanks so much for all the kind words and for recognizing all the hard work of my teammates and my dear friends at Pace Society through this award. Sorry, it might not be as much of a presentation as just a bit of a thank you and a bit of a story, but happy to elaborate as needed. I just want to start by saying that I've been very lucky to consider myself a friend of Pace Society, a sex work support organization in Vancouver's downtown east side, since 2018. I had just moved to Vancouver as a sex worker and as a master's student, and PACE was the first community space that I reached out to wanting to get involved. And they were also my first collaborator as a baby academic back in 2018. And it didn't take me too long to see what was so special about PACE and to feel like I had found a bit of community in a new city. And so just to say that I'm really happy that folks at CBR also saw the specialness of PACE, and what makes them such an amazing collaborator and a pillar of support in Vancouver, like way beyond the context of research. And we really want this award to help support the work of PACE and to bring recognition to the value of like sex worker driven resources, and projects and creative projects specifically. Because in our current moment in Vancouver and across Canada more broadly, I'm seeing some like amazing sex working organizers and academics in the room as well from other parts of Canada. We're seeing a defunding of sex work spaces and a deprioritization at the policy level and the funding level right now. And we're seeing a lack of support for organizations that really center lived experience, center sex worker leadership. And so as researchers and as a research-based project, we just hope that this collaboration and our commitment to reciprocity and sharing resources and knowledge can just play a small role in supporting PACE's longevity and their capacity as a tremendous organization. And just to quote one of our community advisory team members and a long-standing community mentor in Vancouver, Mama Rosa, she said recently, PACE is like a dandelion, it can grow anywhere. And that very coincidentally aligns with the Care Studies dandelion logo. So Mama Rosa was onto something for sure. And just looking forward to the future. We are really excited for the next few years where we're going to be working together again on a new project where we can explore and dream and advocate for sustainable and community-led models for sex work services, and mutual aid more broadly in Vancouver and beyond. And so I'll just thank a bunch of people who continue to make everything possible. And then I'll maybe give a bit of space if Sarah and or Andrea want to say anything, because we probably have a bit extra time. So I want to thank our community advisory team members for the Art Space Project and the ongoing project, Iris, Alyssa, Louise, Mama Rosa, Nidra, Carrie, Sakane, and Kit. We want to thank our research team members, past and present, throughout the many, many years, especially Skyla, Melody, Portia, Tyne, and Echo. Of course, we want to thank all of PACE's staff, over the past 30 years of PACE's existence, who, built the organization to what it is and who built up a lot of trust in the community, and their trust within the community and their connection to us is what allowed community to open up to us and want to take part in our projects. And of course, PACE's board members, including Sarah, who continue to do so much good work every day on the side of their desks and are really doing a lot of work right now to help PACE continue on through these hard times. And of course, every artist, every sex worker, every community member who took part in the research project and who trusted us with their stories, their art, and their imagination. So this award is definitely for them. But yeah, I'll give a bit of space to Andrew or Sarah. No pressure though, if anyone else wants to take over. No, okay. If not, we'll give more space
I was
to the
going
rest.
to give
Okay.
I was going to give some spaces there, but just super briefly. So thank you, Jenny, for all your important remarks and also for all your contributions to making this partnership equitable and safe and very much centered around reciprocity as well. I just want to add super briefly that these kind of collaborations, they're extremely dependent also on funding opportunities that make space for participatory research that allows efficient funding pockets to be able to compensate for the time that people contribute to these projects, especially also in the context of the defunding of many community-based organizations that support marginalized and criminalized groups, and also in the context of board members who, support this kind of work on the side of their desks as well. And I just want to say, that it's been so amazing to be able to work closely together with PACE Society for now almost a decade. And most recently, last week in Vancouver, we've seen a huge kind of slide towards the defunding of sex worker supports and sex worker support organizations. And last week, many of us spent the day at City Hall, speaking at the council meeting, in support of a motion to reinstate a position that supports or liaises between the city of Vancouver and sex workers in the context of ongoing criminalization and stigmatization and marginalization. And it was just a beautiful example of how community members and researchers can work together and, I don't know, maybe it's a bit chewed up, but speak truth to power in different arenas and work together towards systemic change to support the health and safety and the occupational rights of sex workers. So just wanted to thank everybody, CBRCanada, for the recognition. And and maybe Sarah, if you have a few words by them, if not, we can move on.
Sure. Yeah, I was waiting for you to go. But yes, I just want to say thank you very much to CBRCanada as well for recognizing this work. Jenny and Andrea, me as a board member of PACE, and just I'll speak on behalf of PACE in general, we are so grateful to work alongside and collaboratively with you and to continue doing this work, and for you folks to have built these really strong relationships with PACE community members over the last decade and continue to. As Andrea stated, we are seeing some systemic defunding in Vancouver and more broadly, but it is really excellent to be a part of this community and see solidarity and coalition building in action. And I'm very excited to be able to continue this work alongside you two and others. So thank you very much.
Thank you for those reflections and sharing a little bit more about the partnership. And congratulations again on the award. So in addition to our award winner for the Excellence in Community Campus Research Partnership, we also have two honorary mentions that I just want to speak about briefly. Again, the nominees this year were outstanding. And we had a very difficult task of identifying a winner and some honorary mentions. So we do want to recognize two additional partnerships that are making incredible impact in Canada. And so the first honorary mention is the Rural One Welfare Research Partnership, which represents a partnership between the Alberta SPCA and researchers at the University of Alberta who specialize in rural mental health and agricultural communities. For this partnership, the adjudication committee was particularly inspired by how this research was driven by community needs and initiated out of a desire to fill an identified gap. And what made this nomination stand out was the collaborative nature of this project that actively engaged SPCA leadership and peace officers in defining and designing the project goals and objectives. And we were also very impressed by the co-creation of tools for change as key outputs from the research. The second honorary mention for this award is the Improving Patient Access to Care in the Community, or IMPACT partnership. And this partnership brings together academic researchers from the University of Toronto's Department of Health and Society, paramedic leaders from York Region Paramedic Services, health system partners within the Ontario Ministry of Health, and community-facing collaborators from a regional Ontario health team. The adjudication committee was particularly inspired by how this project is filling a significant community need through a collaborative process, and how partners were able to co-produce research and co-create frameworks to guide the future of paramedicine in Canada with a locally implemented model. And we were also really impressed by the close collaboration with paramedics and community partners to define and design a new intervention through collaborative research, and the potential of this partnership to have far-reaching national impact. So congratulations again to the award winner, to both of our honorary mentions for the Community Campus Research Partnership Award, as well as to all of our nominees for this award. And with that, I'll pass things back to Amanda.
Thank you so much, Warren. We only have so much time to speak about these, but we could really spend hours or days or weeks highlighting all of the incredible work, not just of the award winner and the honorary mentions, but of every single nominee, as Warren and Stella and Joanna all mentioned. The excellence does not stop here. We also had 2 awards for emerging researchers, our traditional emerging researcher award and our new award this year, Prix Chercheur Emergent Francophone. So first, I will pass things to Karen Edwards to present our English award this year.
Thanks, Amanda. Again, my name is Karen Edwards, and I am joining you from Treaty 6 territory and the Region 4 of the Métis Nation here in Edmonton. I'm at the University of Alberta in the School of Public Health, and a board member of CBRCanada and a member of the adjudication committee for this award. So CBRCanada's Emerging Community-Based Researcher Award recognizes the achievements of a promising early career individual who embodies the values of community-based research in their work. It recognizes researchers who work closely with or within a community to do transformative community-based research, addressing community needs and driving innovative solutions. These are individuals who are deeply committed to social justice and to the issue and community with which they work. I've been involved in this process with CBRCanada's awards for the last 4 years, and I've almost coined it as an embarrassment of riches, as you can see from the slide showing the 29 nominees that we received this year from across the country. And I think one thing I'd like to personally comment on is that these 29 nominees are put forward, but they are not unlike the PACE program, surrounded by an incredible community of community partners, but also mentors that come from many different facets of their lives and their experiences. So this afternoon, we are recognizing our 2026 award winner and 2 honorary mentions. And a reminder that we will have a chance to hear from our 2 winners in a conversation later on in our agenda. So I am pleased to announce that the winner of CBRCanada's 2026 Emerging Community-Based Researcher Award is Dr. Hélène Lam, an assistant professor in the School of Social Work at York University. Her research is grounded in a strong commitment to human rights, equality, and social justice. She has worked for more than a decade on issues related to migrant rights, gender equality, sex worker rights, racial justice, health equity, and labor rights. Her community-based research honors these lived experiences and has led to community-driven, tangible, and accessible resources that provide critical on-the-ground information on migration, legal rights, safety, and working conditions. At a systems level, the research bridges grassroots organizations with national advocacy groups and involves community members in several significant activities at various levels of government and with the United Nations to advance this much-needed work. In the words of one of her nominees, she breaks boundaries between the worlds of academia, direct practice, community organizing, and policy work to mobilize knowledge and actions in pursuit of social justice. She's an incredible scholar, teacher, and advocate, and I recommend her without reservation for this award. So we congratulate Hélène on the recipient for 2026. I'd like to also recognize and announce 2 honorary mentions for this year's pool of nominations. First, I'd like to congratulate our honorary mention, Claudette Cardinal, who's with the Feast Center for Indigenous STBBI Research at McMaster University. Claudette exemplifies high-quality, community-based research by embedding relational accountability, cultural safety, and community-defined measures of success at every stage of the research process. She advocates for trauma-informed frameworks and Indigenous methodologies that prioritize the safety and the dignity of women living with HIV. As one of her referees stated, she does not simply participate in research, she holds it accountable, ensuring that participants are treated as true partners in the process. And finally, I want to congratulate our second honorary mention for the Emerging Community-Based Researcher Award, Dr. Melanie Powis, who's an assistant professor in the Institute for Health Policy, Management and Evaluation at the University of Toronto. Her work at Princess Margaret Cancer Center's Cancer Center Quality Lab engages underserved patient populations to identify barriers and improve the delivery of cancer care. As one of her partners indicated, her innovative thinking, collaborative spirit, and steadfast commitment to community-driven change position her to make lasting contributions to this growing field of practice. She is also committed to creating opportunities for community capacity building and fostering the scholarship of students from underrepresented communities in STEM. She is a strong advocate for data sovereignty, community engagement, and self-determination in research. And I want to extend a very warm and heartfelt congratulations to both our honorary mentions. And I will pass it to Nadia, who will then announce our Francophone Award.
Merci. Thank you, Karen. Bonjour à tous, mon nom est Nadia Keidi. Je suis professeure à la faculté des sciences de l'information de l'Université de Toronto. Et c'est avec un très grand plaisir que je présente, au nom de notre comité de sélection, les lauréats du prix chercheurs-chercheuses émergents francophones en recherche ancrée dans les communautés. Comme c'est la première année que ce prix est octroyé par Recherche partenariale du Canada, nous souhaitons saluer leur leadership et nous sommes enchantés d'inaugurer ce prix en reconnaissance des chercheurs francophones émergents en recherche communautaire. Nous avons reçu de nombreuses candidatures de haut niveau provenant de partout au Canada et le processus de sélection a été extrêmement compétitif. Ce prix a été créé pour répondre aux besoins des communautés et reflète l'engagement considérable et soutenu de Recherche partenariale du Canada pour l'inclusion et pour la diversité linguistique. Le prix reconnaît l'excellence en recherche des chercheurs francophones émergents, donc qui sont établis depuis 6 ans au moins, qui sont en milieu communautaire, au doctorat ou jeunes diplômés, au postdoctorat ou en début de carrière. Les travaux de recherche des candidats doivent répondre aux besoins des communautés, doivent tenir compte des normes et des valeurs des communautés et garantir que les personnes les plus concernées par le sujet étudié participent de manière significative à toutes les étapes du processus de recherche. Les candidats retenus s'impliquent tous de diverses manières auprès de la communauté et au-delà du projet de recherche et font preuve d'un engagement en faveur de la transformation sociale en collaboration avec la communauté pour mettre en œuvre des actions fondées sur la recherche et sur les besoins de la communauté. Avant de vous révéler les lauréats, je tiens à remercier au nom encore une fois, de recherche partenariale du Canada, de remercier le comité de sélection pour ce prix chercheurs, chercheuses émergents francophones en recherche ancrée dans les communautés. Notre communauté cette année incluait Chantal Trudel de Carleton, Université Carleton, Joséanne Riverain de l'Université du Québec à Montréal, Samira Elatia de l'Université de l'Alberta, Erin Bonnell de l'Université Bishop, Karen Edwards de l'Université de l'Alberta, ainsi que Amanda Demer et Stella Strontiou de Recherche Partenariale Canada. En outre, nous tenons aussi à remercier sincèrement tous les candidats pour leur travail et pour les contributions essentielles en appui aux communautés. Nous avons reçu de nombreuses candidatures exceptionnelles et le comité a eu beaucoup de mal à choisir un seul lauréat. Mais nous en avons trouvé un. Donc, j'ai l'honneur de vous présenter les lauréats pour cette première édition de ce prix. Notre gagnant est professeur Renaud Goyer. Et nous avons aussi deux autres candidats qui ont une mention honorable. Renaud Goyer est sociologue et professeur substitut à l'École de travail social de l'Université du Québec à Montréal. Et ses travaux portent principalement sur les politiques du logement, les expulsions résidentielles et les institutions qui régulent les relations locatives au Québec. Donc, son travail, le travail qui nous a été présenté, porte sur l'expérience des inégalités de logement vécues par les locataires montréalais. Et cette recherche a été faite en partenariat avec le Comité Logement Saint-Laurent, qui est une organisation communautaire active dans la défense des droits des locataires. Le comité de sélection a été particulièrement impressionné par l'ancrage soutenu des recherches de professeur Goyer dans les milieux communautaires et le souci réel qu'il porte à la valorisation des savoirs, d'expériences et de pratiques des militantes et des personnes principales concernées dans les projets de recherche qu'il mène sur les enjeux du droit au logement. Félicitations, professeur Goyer, et je vous invite à nous dire quelques mots.
Oui, ben, merci beaucoup. Chercheur émergent malgré la barbe blanche, comme vous pouvez voir. Ben oui, je remercie beaucoup le jury là, pour cette reconnaissance. Pour moi, c'est un prix en recherche ancrée dans les communautés. Ça a vraiment une signification importante parce que c'est ça, ça reconnaît une manière de faire de la recherche auquel je crois profondément. Je pense qu'une une recherche qui se construit pas uniquement à l'université, mais dans les relations, les collaborations puis le collectif, c'est ce qui permet vraiment à la fois de développer des savoirs utiles, ben, je dirais pas utiles, mais concrets et émancipateurs. Donc, c'est ça. Je reçois le prix avec beaucoup de gratitude. Il appartient évidemment aussi ce prix-là tu sais, à tous les groupes communautaires, les collègues, les étudiants, puis les locataires eux-mêmes, puis les militants qui ont accepté de partager leur expérience, leurs analyses, puis même des fois leur colère là, dans les recherches. On m'a demandé de répondre à la question pour mon intervention aujourd'hui, qu'est-ce que j'ai appris dans mon parcours en tant que chercheur émergent et ce que je devrais ou souhaiterais partager comme conseil. Ben, en fait, je vais le faire en remerciant des personnes, puis en parlant davantage de ma posture que peut-être des conseils que je pourrais donner, donc en disant ce que je fais et non pas ce qu'on devrait faire, peut-être. Euh, donc, le premier, c'est que je pense que en fait, je crois profondément que les chercheurs puis les intervenants gagnent à devenir des traducteurs d'univers. Les groupes communautaires, ils traduisent constamment des mondes. Dans mon cas, moi, celui des institutions, celui des locataires, celui de la souffrance sociale, celui des politiques publiques, de l'expérience vécue, de l'action collective. Donc, il faut comme mettre ça de l'avant qui nous les communiquent. Puis d'un autre côté, ben, je pense qu'on peut traduire ces récits-là en analyse, les expériences en concept, les injustices en langage scientifique qui peut contribuer à leur réflexion, puis aussi à leur action par la suite. Mais je pense qu'il ne faut pas que cette traduction-là se fasse, surtout de notre part, se fasse en confisquant la parole. Moi, dans ma pratique, j'essaie le plus possible d'adopter une posture de porte-voix plutôt que de porte-parole. Je pense que les groupes et les personnes concernées n'ont pas nécessairement besoin qu'on parle à leur place ou qu'on s'approprie leur parole, mais bien qu'on tente de faire résonner cette parole-là dans des espaces où elle est moins entendue. Et donc, qui va nous amener aussi, nous, à nous compromettre pour défendre cette parole-là. Je pense honnêtement que les chercheurs ont souvent beaucoup plus besoin des groupes communautaires que le contraire. Ça, c'est quelque chose qu'on ne voit pas toujours. Donc, il faut le dire. Ça dit souvent, on va parler des besoins des groupes, mais on a aussi besoin des groupes pour faire nos projets. Puis il faut le reconnaître dès le départ. Donc, on apprend beaucoup à leur contact. Ça nous oblige à sortir des catégories abstraites. Ça nous ramène aux expériences concrètes, aux contradictions, aux effets réels des institutions puis des politiques. Puis c'est ça l'intérêt de travailler aussi avec eux. Puis ça nous rappelle aussi que les enjeux sur lesquels on travaille, c'est pas juste des objets de recherche, c'est aussi des réalités vécues. Donc, c'est important de le reconnaître. C'est d'ailleurs pour ça que je me suis impliqué dès le départ dans la création du collectif de recherche et d'action sur l'habitat, le CRASH, qui est un collectif ou un espace de recherche où il y a des groupes communautaires, principalement des communautés, des comités logements, et des chercheurs où on va définir ensemble des projets de recherche, des questions à se poser, des savoirs à produire. Et puis, j'ai beaucoup appris au contact à la fois des chercheurs qui étaient impliqués, mais surtout des groupes qui étaient là, à comprendre c'était quoi la politique du logement au, euh, au Québec, au Canada. Je dirais aussi que ça nous amène aussi à avoir une autre vision de la recherche. Moi, je pense que la recherche doit être engagée pour avoir du sens, pas engagée au sens partisan, mais engagée envers les personnes qui prennent du temps pour nous donner leur parole puis leur expérience ou les partager. Donc, Howard Baker, il disait qu'il fallait se demander de quel côté on est quand on fait de la recherche. Mais cette question-là, il a écrit ça il y a plus que 50 ans, mais ça continue d'habiter mes travaux aujourd'hui. Quand on travaille sur les expulsions, l'insalubrité, l'itinérance, les inégalités sociales, ça devient comme très difficile de prétendre à la neutralité. Donc, être témoin de ces situations-là, ça nous oblige à réfléchir à notre responsabilité comme chercheurs, puis être d'autant plus importante que, il faut être honnête, là, les chercheurs retirent des choses de ces expériences-là. Les problèmes sociaux, des fois, se transforment en articles, conférences pour obtenir des postes, mais au bout d'un certain temps. Donc, il faut reconnaître que il faut que l'engagement aille dans les deux sens, puis que ça contribue aussi un temps soit peu à changer le vécu de ces personnes-là. Euh, le troisième élément, je pense, c'est qu'il faut rester, puis c'est surtout lié à cette question-là, ça nous oblige à rester humble puis à ne pas oublier notre dette là, envers les personnes qui rendent nos recherches possibles. Donc, c'est ça, c'est les apprentissages qui continuent de guider ma façon de faire la recherche, euh, qui sont vraiment comme au cœur de mon parcours. Donc, voilà. Peut-être que je terminerai en rappelant que le prix me rappelle à moi, surtout que la recherche la plus importante, c'est peut-être pas celle qui parle le plus fort dans les universités, mais celle qui réussit à construire des liens entre différents univers sociaux. Donc, merci encore.
Merci, professeur Goyer, et félicitations encore une fois. Euh, le comité a aussi octroyé 2 mentions honorables aux chercheuses suivantes. Marie-Hélène Girard, qui est professeure adjointe à l'Université McGill. Le comité de sélection a été particulièrement impressionné par sa démarche personnelle et académique en recherche ancrée dans les communautés et ses efforts pour conduire celle-ci en français. Le comité salue son engagement envers les enjeux d'accès à la justice en français hors Québec pour les communautés minoritaires et en collaboration avec divers partenaires. Bravo, Marie-Hélène Girard. Et notre deuxième prix en mention honorifique et pour Gillian Robinson de l'Université de l'Alberta. Elle est une chercheuse engagée au cœur de la francophonie minoritaire, particulièrement dans le milieu éducatif franco-albertain. Son projet s'appuie sur sa riche expérience d'enseignante au sein des programmes d'immersion française de la région métropolitaine de Edmonton, à travers laquelle elle a développé une compréhension intime de la réalité opérationnelle des écoles. Le comité a été particulièrement impressionné par son engagement envers les premiers peuples et les communautés queer, ainsi que par son utilisation de cadres théoriques et méthodologiques permettant de déconstruire les mécanismes d'exclusion et d'identifier des stratégies pour engager des changements systémiques durables. Félicitations à tous et merci.
Merci, Nadia. Thank you so much for announcing our winner and our honorary mention for this year's and our first ever emerging francophone researcher, Prix Cherché Emergent Francophone. We heard some wonderful words of wisdom from Renaud there. Merci beaucoup, Renaud, pour ton conseil. Karen, I'd like to put things back to you if you would like to return to our emerging researcher and welcome our winner up to share some words as well.
Yes, sorry, I moved. I was very excited to share everybody. So I wanted to offer a moment for Hélène to offer some words as well as our honorary, not as our honorary, sorry, as our winner for the 2026 Emerging Researcher Award.
Hi everyone, I'm so excited to be here. So congrats to other award recipients. So I actually have a slide how I can have 5 minutes, share everything. But because as someone like to do activists and also have the root of community, so that's I think that is really want to use this opportunity share some of my experience, my insight, and also visual is something I'm big on. So just hope you will enjoy to see some visual. And so it is really glad to be here. And I think as a migrant and settler, it's always important, to recognize, if we are at academic space, we do research is very often rooted in strong whiteness, white supremacy. So, and I think that how we keep thinking colonialism, genocide is not somewhere else, it's still ongoing, and then how we can keep challenging it and bringing the change, and how personally also have the responsibility to commit the decolonization and also indigenous justice. This is more than, just reading the land acknowledgement. So this is a picture from No More Silence. They are having a beautiful healing lodge. So I'm working with the community and particularly, to work with No More Silence and to hope that how to build the solidarity and of indigenous community and migrant community, particular sex worker community. And so it is also very important for me. So I feel so emotional because this is the award not belongs to me, but it is belongs to Butterfly Asian and Migrant Sex Worker Support Network. Many of them is here, so it has been the very long journey. Particularly, thank you, Nancy Sun. She was the first one outreach migrant sex worker in Canada. We met in Hong Kong when we organized the migrant sex worker conference. So thank you, Soya, Mina, Payne, Staris, Lily, Cici, Lisa, and also Princess, Jess, and Somi. And Mina, so that why I always so support. So that's why I really want to delegate this award to Butterfly team, learn more about the work. So the other is, it is really my honor have last few decades, I have chance work with migrant sex worker to learn about the struggle, resistance, liberation, and transformation. And also I have a lot of mentor activist scholars who have been inspired me. So that's why I also want to delegate this award to them. So that's why I'm particularly excited, like Jenny and Pace also get the award. And I think having recognition from the Canadian Research Institute about the issue of sex worker, I think is very important, and particularly to support the fight of against the stigma and fight for the decriminalization. And thank you so much. I just want to share my experience. When you call me researcher, I feel a little bit strange, so despite I have been doing research a long time, but my root is more like community organizer and activist within a sex worker community. So why I do research is not because I have curiosity, or I really like to do some academic big work. No, it's because working with the community, you often see, experience of policing, criminalization, violence, stigma, and all kinds of human rights violation. Despite the community keeps speaking out, they keep sharing the story, but the knowledge and experience is not being recognized. So that's why migrant sex worker and sex worker all over the world keep doing different research to show their experience, that should show what happened to their life, show their knowledge, and really want to bring the change. But so often, even they do the community lead research, they are not being recognized. So that's why so often also need to work with academic to do the research together. So that's why I know we are in the space of community-based research. So that's why my sharing is how we can go beyond community-based research, support the community lead research. So it is my honor have chance to connect with the sex worker all over the world, and particular Jen Clement in Canada. When I was in Hong Kong, she inspired me so much about community lead research. You see, this is beautiful report, Hit and Run, actually is from Thailand. The sex worker themselves, they document, the harm of anti-trafficking movement. And so despite the sex worker community have been doing different kind of research, but they face a lot of problem. There is a lot of ethical issue, and particularly more community-based researcher come in. They work with the sex worker community or other community, but so often what we see, when they work with the sex worker, they were the expert. But after the researcher become expert. And then so that to silence the sex worker, and so take away the voices from the sex worker, and also how the negative impact affect the community, right? So that like how people do the research with the sex worker community to learn about the precarious, the violence they experience. But this research, if they don't take action together with the community, the research funding is being used by institutions, the government, to impose the harmful policy, increase policing to the worker, and how those biased information to use the justification of this harmful policy. And now we see, because of PrEP, a lot of particular, I know this platform have a lot of health researchers. So, and it's good to have PrEP, but we also know that historically how they are so violent against the sex worker, use community-based to justify, the unethical practice, and also affect the policy that is for example, now is reduce the promotion of condom because they promote PrEP, right? So, and I think this is some very important reminder, even we say community-based research, this is so important to resist traditional research, but how it may still continues. So that's why I really, really want to call to support more community lead research. But what is the challenge of community lead research is so often not being seen as real research. You are too biased. You should not ask the question about yourself. Let me have academic collaborate with you, because community-based research is more perceived as legitimate and more higher in the hierarchy. And so often we see many community organizations, they are forced in the way to do the research with academic in order to get resources, in order to make the research legitimate. So, and I think what is community-based research is really need to think about what you can use your power and resources, support the community. They can have the research method and approach ethically to answer some of the questions the community want to answer. And so I know I have some need to be faster, and also participate action research. That's why I want to call for more participation, and there is so many different type of participants. I don't know whether I lost the share. Maybe I'm so excited. I think I'm lost the
It did
share.
stop sharing, yes.
Okay, yes. Okay, so yeah, and the participation, why is so important? Because I think a lot of discussion of community-based research is talk about, how to have the, system. We can write in the funding proposal, how we have the steering committee, but I think participation in so many ways. We need to recognize the diversity within the community, also oppression within the communities, that who is being left behind, and people can participate in the project in so many different ways. If we just focus on few people, joining the committee is so often also produce the precarious, then the people from the community is forced to adapt the academic knowledge, form of doing things, and so to lose the real meaning of the community participation, right? So that's why nothing about us without us. I really want to call for go beyond the co-design of research analysis, right? How to support the community initiative and demand and support the community lead research, because we should not have the partnership only extract the community time, labor, resources, and leadership and change them be parts of academic system. We see so many community, they are members, they are struggling, they have so much good knowledge, but when they encounter with academic institute, because they have those knowledge, but they need to conform, that is really create a lot of challenge. And so the next one is how action is important. So I have a lot of picture. I may not able to share in detail, but feel free to reach out to me and I can share more. Action is very important. It's not only have the policy paper to send it to government. Itself would not make change. How community-based research, community-led research itself is very transformative. So how individual, community, society, and policy can change at the same time. It's not happen just having an academic publication. We wish, that people will read and change their mind. We know how power operate in the society, how academic actually can use the resources and power, work with the community to bring the change. So this is some of the example. When I work with when I work with the migrant sex worker and massage worker in Toronto, they always ask why the law enforcement keep coming, close down the business, so that we work together to do a lot of work to support the community, not only speak out, but also involve in the movement, how they build the collective power by bringing the story together. We so often hear the consultation group, focus group discussion, so that what we can do beyond that and build this collective power. And one of the projects before I moved to Canada is actually, there is a project called Things to Know Before You Go. So it's how to bring the sex worker all over the world to share the working conditions, so that the worker, when they move to other country, they can find the connection, and also they know what kind of issue they may face, right? So that and so that's why I keep thinking how we can do go beyond what we have been doing, and then support the community to do different important initiatives. So, and then how to change this community, not only conversation, but to the collective power. So this is the picture when City of Toronto and Newmarket want to shut down the massage parlor, and then they organize. So actually, this is the project funded by CERT. When I study my PhD, why I need to go to my PhD? Because there's no money to fund for the organizing work. So by going to academic, so I can get funding to do this work. I don't feel proud of my thesis, but I think it is a very important resources to give me to do the beautiful work with the community and bring the change. And so, and not only looking at, the oppression, right? We really looking at the power of the community. So this is the call from the worker. They are not dishonorable trash. They are not traffic victim. They have the agency, make decision, and support their dignity. And again, because so many research really care about the vulnerability, the impact of criminalization, but how we can use the research to amplify the power of the community. 300 workers went to City Hall, and 100 supported a lot of academic researcher scholar went to City Hall. Why? Because even 300 workers, they speak, but city don't listen to them. So that's why we still need more allies come in to make the voice having more ways, and to make the City of Toronto can see them and support them. And so this is the collective power to transform the society. We Butterfly also work with Canadian Alliance of Sex Work Law Reform to do the Constitution Challenge, and the research report is very important. Again, the community research report is seen as no weight. They weight more the academic research. So that's why how to challenge it, and this should who have the final say, right? So, and I think that how in this academic community, how can continue to support the voice of the community not only being heard, but be having the power in the institution to bring the change. And so this is also different research report, and it is honor work with Tara Santini that we do a lot of legal research to document the experience of the worker, but also change it to training manual for the lawyer to help professionals, to social worker to know about the harm of anti-trafficking movement and remove the barrier the workers can access the resources, but they can also become the ally to advocate the change. We see so many researchers focus on how to assess, but how to bring the systematic and policy change need more than just the policy recommendation. So this is the creative resistance when town of Newmarket say, okay, the Asian migrant sex workers are too vulnerable, the massage workers are too vulnerable, and they are the bad people, they do not do good massage. So we work with York University. Thank you for Amanda, Professor Denisio, to create the course. You see, because they impose the barrier that the worker need Canadian education credential in order to get the license, so that we just work together, create a license, create a credential, the training the worker can get, then they can get the license. They do collective action, offer massage on the street to call for more support. And so we just have our Asian Massage Festival last Saturday. So that is like very important to do the movement building, and academic scholar is also have a lot of network with different people. So it's like how, not only a sex worker movement, migrant sex worker movement, how all come together can bring the change. And so because we work with sex worker community, this is the call for action, support the community leadership and capacity building, support the full decriminalization of sex work, support status for all, and dismantle the anti-trafficking movement, particularly now the FIFA is coming, a lot of harmful call. And last line, I know about the time. This is the reminder for myself, getting this award academic institution is so precarious to make you have so much pressure and you need to conform. Having this award is not only $1,000 can give Butterfly to do the work, because I keep getting reject of the funding. I hope this award also give me a little bit credential, but also remind me, don't lose my root. Because there's so much temptation, it's so easy. I can go to easy, comfortable, fly over the world to join different conference, forget my roots, right? So that's why how to support not only community-based research, is go beyond the support community-led research, how to make them be more recognized and more funding, and the importance of the participation and action, and building the leadership, not only for your research, build the leadership for the community, and how to share resources, power, decision-making, not only in the research project, but all the space. When the government invites you to consultation, whether you will bring in the community that the policymaker need to listen, not to you, is to them. How to be accountable to the community, and particularly the diverse community who is being left behind. And support movement and advocacy, and use your power and resources. Keep thinking, what we can change, what change we can bring together. And thank you so much. And thank you. Again, I particularly want to thank you, Leanne and Amy, support my application. And really, thank you for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so, so much, Ellen. There are some wonderful words of wisdom that you shared there, and some wonderful context to the work that you've done. And thank you again, merci beaucoup, Renaud, for the advice that you shared as well. Congratulations to both of you for your awards. Congratulations to the honorary mentions for both of these awards, and to every single one of the nominees. The awards program is such an incredible piece of the work that we get to do, that we have the honor to do at Community-Based Research Canada, because we get to hear these incredible stories of research projects that make a difference. And again, it's not just the winners and the honorary mentions, but it's every single nominee. When we read those nominee packages, we are moved and inspired by all of the incredible work happening in Canada. And speaking for myself, it really reinvigorates our passion for why we do what we do, why we promote community-based research, and why we're so glad we get to highlight these examples of community-based research excellence. Stay tuned to hear from our winners, our honorary mentions, our nominees in upcoming program at CBRCanada. We'll have the opportunity to have some of these folks speak in our e-learning events or our community of practice or other programs that we offer throughout the fall and winter of 2026 and 2027. And thank you again, everyone, for being here with us today to help us celebrate the winners, the honorary mentions, and the nominees. Thank you to anyone who took the time and effort to submit a nomination as well. I know that's unpaid labor that you often do to support those that have worked with you, so thank you for that. We continue to see just elevated examples each and every year of community-based research excellence. And Ellen was speaking about how community-based research is about community leading research, and it's about participatory action. And all of these things really encompass the values of community-based research as we speak about it at CBRCanada. So again, we're just so privileged and honored to hear these stories and to be able to highlight a few of the incredible examples that we see through our nominee program. We will look forward to seeing what comes our way in the 2027 awards. I'm sure we'll continue to see incredible work. And thank you again, everyone. I'll bring our award celebration gala to an end now. And we look forward to seeing what next year brings for our award program. Bye, everyone. Thank you.